Humanity's world has gone completely off the rails, infected by a nightmare virus whose victims become monsters capable of swallowing entire cities. And while ordinary people are left running through the wreckage, those creatures keep evolving into forms that make conventional weapons look like toys. But fortunately, the same era brings universal awakenings, granting certain humans supernatural professions with enough power to hunt the infected, reclaim lost territory, and become the heroes standing between civilization and a truly ugly extinction screen. After surviving a brutal monster war, mankind finally launches one last crusade against Azathoth, the ultimate monster whose death should end the disaster. Assembling its strongest professional team around Gu Chen, the champion everyone trusts to carry the final boss fight. He reaches the summit as humanity's celebrated strongest warrior, surrounded by comrades and civilians who seem ready to honor his victory, only for that triumph to become an ambush, leaving him bloodied, kneeling, and demanding to know why the people he protected have turned on him. A blonde swordsman, Gu Chen, calls brother treats the betrayal as perfectly natural, explaining that professional power awakened alongside the monsters and warning that killing Azathoth might erase their abilities along with the threat, meaning the end of the monster age would also end the professionals' privileged era. And the surrounding elites have apparently agreed that preserving their status matters more than finishing the war Gu Chen sacrificed everything to win. Their silent formation gives him the answer before anyone bothers denying it. And as Gu Chen stares at the allies closing around him, he finally understands that this was never one man's selfish scheme. Killing him was part of the plan from the start. With Azathoth alive, monsters remain useful and the professionals stay indispensable, perched comfortably atop humanity's hierarchy while the public keeps paying the price for a crisis these supposed heroes could end. His betrayers even blame Gu Chen for being too gifted and too obsessed with exterminating every monster, but their smug justification only forces him to question whether his lifelong mission was foolish from the beginning, because once again, the strongest man in the world realizes he is completely alone. That loneliness reaches back to a childhood in the countryside, where monsters killed the foster parents who were the only family he truly knew. Even as his biological father, Gu Qingfeng, the supreme powerhouse of Shensha Kingdom's northern region, fought elsewhere and begged his son to return alive. Gu Qingfeng eventually found the orphaned boy, carried him home like discarded trash, and introduced him to a household where the other children immediately complained about his smell. But Gu Chen swallowed every humiliation because hardship was merely the entry fee for becoming strong enough to avenge the family monsters stole from him. Even training his stepbrother into one of the continent's finest professionals and handing over the guild built through his own blood and labor, never imagining that the person he raised toward the top would become the decisive reason for his defeat. Back in the present, that dear little brother coldly promises to reunite Gu Chen with his dead foster parents, revealing years of disgust toward the supposed countryside bastard who dared claim a place beside him in the Gu family. Gu Chen can barely lift his head as he tells the traitor to die, yet the next strike lands first, driving a blade through his already broken body while the conspirators wait for the legend to stop breathing. Instead, a bizarre distortion flashes across his vision, and reality glitches hard enough to show a ghostly face where the battlefield should be. Just as Azathoth suddenly rises again, recovering health while panicked professionals realize their supposed victory solved absolutely nothing. While monsters flood the field and at least one terrified betrayer instantly regrets abandoning the only fighter who could save them, Gu Chen sees the ugly punchline. Neither Azathoth nor the world's monsters were ever truly erased, but his body has reached its limit, leaving the man who carried humanity unable even to stand while the disaster resets around him. Azathoth mocks the professionals for mistaking one defeat for the final boss and hints that its greater kin remain beyond this world. But Gu Chen has no strength left to answer as his first life finally expires. At death's edge, he discovers one last route, the Demon King's heart taken from the eternal demon Azathoth and containing a power no one fully understands, which activates a time escape so suddenly that even the monster wonders when Gu Chen stole its heart and switched their fates. Swept backward through the timeline, Gu Chen vows that if he gets another run, every enemy in his path, human or monster, is getting deleted. Then awakens at his old class ceremony, where everyone believes he has failed to gain a profession despite coming from a family blessed with powerful hidden classes. The impossible second chance hits Gu Chen all at once as his younger body snaps fully awake, and one glance at his untouched hands confirms that this is no dying hallucination, while familiar walls and voices pull the old memories of this miserable morning sharply into focus, revealing the Gu family mansion and convincing him that Azathoth's stolen heart really did send him back. Before he can process that miracle, Gu Qingfeng strikes him and orders his supposedly unfilial son to kneel, boasting of his own status as Gubei City's warlord while condemning Gu Chen for failing to awaken a rare class and bring honor to the family. Gu Chen remembers this exact day when one failed ceremony turned him into a household burden with no place at school or home, only for a new system to initialize and open a profession selection interface that never appeared in his first life. It warns that each choice will create a completely different career path. Proving this second run comes with a serious New Game Plus perk, then offers 3 routes. Apologize and become a holy swordsman, endure responsibility as a holy shield bearer, or sever every tie and establish himself through darkness. Guchen realizes he can still change classes and stares at options he never received before. Yet apologizing to the father who abandoned him for 18 years is laughable, and he already spent one lifetime carrying everyone else's responsibility. Gu Qingfeng keeps demanding that he kneel in the courtyard for a full day and night, until Gu Chen finally answers that a man who discarded his son, ignored the foster family raising him, and never performed a father's duty has no authority to pose as one. His father fires back that Gu Chen is an ambitionless bastard who failed at school, gained no class, and could never compare with his gifted brother, Gu Ce, the favored son who grew up in comfort and awakened the rare Dragon War Knight class while Gu Chen survived among countryside hooligans. Gu Chen's stepmother, Qin Yun, steps forward and demands that he apologize on his knees. But he reminds her that he is the Gu family's eldest mainline son while she says only a concubine with no right to command him. The rebuke makes Qin Yun recoil straight into Gu Qingfeng's arms, and the furious warlord accuses Gu Chen of disrespecting parents and elders like some common street thug. Gu Qingfeng releases the crushing aura of a northern powerhouse, expecting raw pressure to force obedience from an allegedly worthless son, and charges across the courtyard with enough force to make the floor tremble beneath Gu Chen's feet. Yet the reborn warrior absorbs it without dropping, almost amused that this man still expects him to kneel, before answering that Gu Qingfeng can keep dreaming if he thinks intimidation will work twice. The fearless refusal briefly stops the warlord cold and forces him to reconsider the son he dismissed. So after retracting his aura, he grudgingly praises Gu Chen's backbone while offering forgiveness if the boy simply admits fault. Gu Chen laughs at the recycled manipulation and instead announces that he is severing every tie with the Gu family from this moment forward, calling himself the rustic commoner they always treated him as, and telling Gu Qingfeng to pretend he never had this son. His father rages that an outcast without Gu protection is nothing but trash, so Gu Chen returns the favor and tells him to act as though he never fathered someone like him, prompting the warlord to summon a butler and demand Gu Chen's immediate removal from the family genealogy. The servant awkwardly reveals there is nothing to remove because the young master's name was never entered in that record to begin with. And with the system's dark path task complete, Gu Chen walks into the night knowing revenge and survival both demand greater strength. His reward awakens the summoner class, the S-rank Darkborn summoner talent, and a one-use skill called Bloodthirsty First Blood, giving him a growth route far beyond the ordinary ES through E talent scale, and potentially an SR rank ceiling if he can feed the class enough resources. The starter gift also grants his first contracted beast, a bloodthirsty bat, which emerges through red summoning energy and accepts the contract without wasting time on dramatic introductions. Its initial sheet is less impressive. Common aptitude, level 1, middling stats, lifesteal, a basic sonic attack, and a full-day lockout if it dies, making the tiny creature weak even by starter dungeon standards despite the higher tiers it could eventually reach. Which is why Gu Chen tests Darkborn First Blood, a divine talent capable of awakening a dark bloodline and converting ordinary summons into dark creatures, spending its only current use as the bat bites down and the crimson transformation begins. Dark energy wraps the tiny summon, tearing down its original limits and stretching its body through a rapid evolution, upgrading the common bloodthirsty bat into an epic creature named Dagula before Gu Chen has earned a single level, a ridiculous 3-tier leap from one activation that instantly proves his divine talent plays by completely different rules. While the surprise gets even better when Dagula emerges in a fully humanoid form with enormous crimson wings beneath the moon. In Gu Chen's first life, legendary summoners needed 3 evolutions and a small fortune before their beasts could become humanoid. Yet his brand new partner already carries epic aptitude, 1800 health, vastly improved physical stats, vampire int, lethal tempo, and a maxed Crimson Feast skill. Dagula immediately calls him master and cheerfully admits she wants to taste his fresh blood, apparently treating attempted snacking as normal contract etiquette. So he recalls the dangerously enthusiastic vampire and boards a train before her newborn personality creates a very public incident. Her upgrade also feeds power back through their contract, raising Gu Chen's level 1 strength, agility, constitution, and spirit to roughly triple normal values, with an additional talent bonus that even his veteran knowledge finds highly unusual, because summoned beasts normally behave like a warrior's weapon. While Dagwala has an independent personality, a serious blood craving, and enough instinct to fight without constant commands, though Gu Chen still pulls her back into storage when her excitement starts alarming everyone around them. Leveling a high-aptitude summon will require mountains of experience, and the hungry little vampire is already making her needs painfully obvious from his shoulder. But Gu Chen knows his upcoming first assessment can provide both prey and the career-defining score every newly awakened student needs. The train carries him from Gubei City to Lincheng, where he returns to Lincheng No. 1 High School with the confidence of a veteran graduate replaying the easiest section of the tutorial. Faculty members lead the newly awakened class toward the school's carefully maintained rookie dungeon training ground, gathering students who have spent 3 years studying and only now possess real professional talents. Their instructor, Jiang Songhua, announces that today's closely supervised trial will be their first genuine combat experience as licensed professionals. Inside a cleared and modified rookie dungeon available for only 10 days each year to newly awakened students below level 10. The carefully controlled beginner dungeon carries relatively little danger while offering noticeably better experience and material rewards than ordinary monster zones outside the school grounds. Although Manhua still requires every student to carry a one-use teleportation scroll, sold here for 200 gold instead of more than 1,000 outside. And as she checks attendance before opening the portal, the teacher notices Gu Chen is missing. And his classmates immediately laughed that the failed awakener probably returned to farming because he was too ashamed to face them after the ceremony. Gu Chen arrives moments later, calmly apologizing for a delay while the mockery dies just long enough for everyone to stare. Before the loudest students decide his willingness to appear only makes him an easier target. While Zhang Songshu ignores their cheap commentary and asks which class he awakened, nearly freezing when he answers summoner and casually produces the harmless-looking little bat resting in his open hand as proof of the unexpected class. Some girls notice Gu Chen has become strangely handsome, but the crowd still pities him for choosing a class famous for ruining anyone without wealth, since summoners burn resources just to function. While he quietly confirms the timeline still matches his memories and a hidden dungeon should remain nearby. Zhang Songhua sharply shuts down the ridicule and reminds everyone that a class is only one factor. Personal skill, judgment, and accumulated combat experience matter just as much. Then advises Gu Chen to find reliable teammates and purchase the mandatory safety scroll. He says he needs neither, making the teacher protest that the school cannot risk an accident without his parents' signed consent. But Gu Chen's steady silence suggests this is a decision, not some teenager's panic response. Zhang Songhua assumes his family must be struggling because 200 gold clearly means something different to him, and generously offers to pay for the scroll herself because student safety comes before pride. Gu Chen thanks her but explains that his strength makes the expense unnecessary, a claim the watching students dismiss as a broke summoner's attempt to save face. The teacher studies him more carefully and realizes his calm aura does not feel like a bluff at all. While everyone else scrambles for parties, advertises expensive starter gear, resells scrolls, and recruits ranged classes, leaving Gu Chen conspicuously alone despite the supposedly easy dungeon's high reward rate. Seeing a summoner, several students briefly assume Gu Chen must secretly come from money, until others recognize the countryside transfer and decide only a fool would awaken such an expensive class without family millions. Their chatter matters little because Gu Chen remembers the dungeon's easy, hard, nightmare, and hell modes, plus a secret high difficulty route requiring at least 5 entrants to unlock its maximum rewards. But his planning pauses when Lin Yuan, a childhood friend from his first life, asks why Gu Chen disappeared from the countryside for a month. He dismisses the long absence as personal business, but privately wonders whether he and Lin Yuan were always this close after his friend complains that the cold response hardly rewards a full month of worrying. Lin Yuan hands over a teleportation scroll Jiang Songhua secretly bought with her own money, and Gu Chen accepts it while resolving to repay the teacher whose kindness survived even this discarded timeline. Because a second life means cherishing everyone who treated him well, and eventually charging every betrayer the full price. While Lin Yuan innocently questions why someone too poor for a scroll would choose to raise summon beasts, Gu Chen explains summoner was his only option and asks why his swordsman friend has not joined the dungeon. Learning that Lin Yuan planned to enter with class monitor Li Wenhui, a wealthy light knight wearing a complete set of rare starter gear. The name hits Gu Chen immediately. Someone from the Lin Chung Li family stood among his future traders, though for now he accepts Lin Yuan's spare sword as a temporary weapon, and notes that school or factory prospects depend heavily on today's result. Since the hidden route needs 5 players, Gu Chen asks to join Lin Yuan's existing team, whose leader Li Wenhui has already received 50,000 and surrendered his guild rewards in exchange for carrying Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan asks Li to include Gu Chen and threatens to quit if he refuses, but the irritated noble rejects the request and removes Lin Yuan from the party instead. Unbothered, Lin Yuan suggests recruiting 3 more people and rushing an SSS rating, a goal so absurd even Gu Chen double-checks him, because an SSS result grants valuable bonus academy points, places a student among the region's top few dozen, and can earn direct admission to the prestigious Capital Academy. Gu Chen only tells Lin Yuan that belief is optional, and despite the outrageous target, his loyal friend decides to trust him this once, loudly advertising that one summoner needs 4 brave teammates for an SSS rush, and inviting anyone seeking direct Capital Academy admission to step forward, earning stunned questions about when Lin Cheng produced a genius capable of passing such a score. The answer that Gu Chen is a common summoner named Hilarious turns curiosity into laughter, with hecklers predicting his team will graduate straight into factory work. And the pair soon stand alone beneath a cloud of collective secondhand embarrassment, leaving Gu Chen to walk away from people who call themselves future professionals while behaving like loud, short-sighted idiots. Though Lin Yuan remains determined, reasoning that even if Gu Chen fails, he can pool enough money to recruit 4 desperate teammates and hope the other side asks for less. Nearby, level 1 warrior Lin Qingqing and assassin Suran consider the gamble because established teams charge at least 15,000 gold, while these 2 broke recruiters asks almost nothing. Though Suran worries a common summoner leader might drag them into a dungeon too dangerous to survive, Lin Yuan promises promises all medical costs and fees will be covered in full, and the women decide their personal teleportation scrolls make the risky bargain acceptable, giving Guchen 3 willing teammates before the portal even opens. The fifth is Wu Ziyi, a level 1 fighter whose silver hair, full arm guards, and calm stance suggest far more competence than the crowd's average bargain hunter, and Lin Yuan welcomes him as their class monitor, relieved to have someone capable of intervening if the run becomes uncontrollable. Wu Ziyi demands extra payment for that insurance, which Lin Yuan accepts, after again threatening to quit unless his conditions are honored, while Gu Chen agrees to lead in exchange for choosing the dungeon route himself. When the others nervously mention nightmare difficulty, he says even that perspective is still too small and sends the formal 5-member party invitation, which Lin Yuan, Wu Ziyi, Lin Qingxing, and Su Ran all accept. Instead of selecting the visible entrance, Gu Chen channels power into the ancient stonework until the monument cracks apart, leaving his brand new party staring in total confusion as he demolishes the ancient mechanism that was supposed to begin their carefully supervised assessment. The shattered monument answers by opening a blood-red portal whose aura is nothing like the school's normal gate, confirming that channeling professional power through the correct hidden pattern can still unlock the secret dungeon Gu Chen remembers. While his teammates panic at the unnatural color and threaten to quit before the dangerous entrance finishes forming. But once the system marks all 5 members ready, Gu Chen reminds them he is party leader and orders them to follow. He steps through first, and the others disappear behind him before Courage can file an appeal, leaving the ominous red gateway to seal over the empty assessment courtyard. As Jiang Songhua and school officials rush over, stunned that a rookie summoner somehow created another dungeon and brought 4 students inside, while the dean studies its murderous color and demands an explanation. He recognizes a special hidden dungeon with a rookie death rate reaching 99%. Something that should never have appeared on supervised school grounds, as Gu Chen's bewildered party materializes deep within the ancient moss-covered temple ruins. Wu Ziyi instantly grabs Gu Chen by the throat, furious that their leader entered an unknown dungeon without warning anyone about the difficulty. But Gu Chen calmly reminds the fighter that choosing the route was part of their agreement. Wu is even more disturbed when Gu Chen easily pins his powerful arm despite being a supposedly fragile summoner, while the others realize their school database contains no monster information for this place and fear someone will die before they find an exit. Wu calls Gu Chen insane, arguing even a fully equipped Li Wenhui would never enter blind. Yet Gu Chen says leaving now means waiting another year and makes trust their choice. Then hands his only teleportation scroll to Lin Yuan. That leaves every companion with an escape item while Gu Chen alone must survive without one, undercutting their complaints that he brought them here only to die. Although he still claims he discovered the hidden entrance by pure feeling when they demand to know how he could possibly know it existed. In truth, Gu Chen saw this dungeon reported after an accidental opening in his first life, when its reputation lured wave after wave of challengers to their deaths, until elite teams from across Xia finally conquered the temple ruins and emerged with an astonishing harvest. Lin Yuan tries to believe the hidden variant is merely normal difficulty wrapped in creepy temple scenery, hoping the team can still earn something useful, but sealed wall niches grind open and release rows of armored figures, holding identical red-edged swords. Their synchronized march and glowing weapons wipe away the last hopeful theory, while Gu Chen calmly announces that the hidden dungeon's first monsters have finally arrived. The enemies identify themselves as Level 2 Fallen Guards, an armored alien race with 1,400 health and physical stats already far above the frightened rookie's comfort zone. While 10 of them appear together, convincing Wu Ziyi that anything beyond nightmare must be hell difficulty and retreat is their only rational option. Gu Chen instead claims every monster, orders the party to stay behind him, forbids anyone from stealing kills, and treats the room like private farming territory, before calling his supposedly harmless little bat out to play, making his teammates stare at the tiny creature and accuse unreliable summers of reaching a brand new low. Right before Gu Chen gives one simple command, Kill, and Dagula rockets forward in a blinding crimson arc toward the armored formation. Her humanoid form erupts around the bat as blood-red energy extends into a huge blade, which tears through armor with a rapid chain of slashes too fast for the guards to answer. Fallen soldiers collapse one after another beneath sustained damage no beginner should be able to produce. And Dagula finishes all 10 targets without taking a hit while the system floods Gu Chen with experience notifications. The party realizes the cute bat is an epic tier humanoid summon rather than some boss or hidden professional, leaving even Wu Zi visibly stunned because creatures of that rarity are scarce across the entire Shenxia Empire, never mind the isolated northern region. Each casual strike dealt roughly 300 damage, enough to erase the entire level 2 squad before even top-ranked Li Wenhui could cycle through his skills. Since a Retribution Paladin specializes in burst and sustained damage but still cannot casually output nearly 3,000 through 2 early abilities, Gu Chen calls the slaughter a clean sweep and notes they have plenty of room to advance. Reaching level 2 with all 4 stats pushed into the high 20s while Dagula levels beside him, and gaining one fresh dark bloodline use that makes him wonder what will awaken next. Gu Chen spends that new charge on Dagula immediately, triggering another successful bloodline awakening while the party watches her power climb yet again, doubling her health to 3200, pushing every attribute near 40, and adding the epic talent Blood Shadow's Wrath alongside 2 level 10 combat skills. After which he asks whether anyone still wants to back out now that their supposed deadweight has revealed an epic monster. And the entire party shakes its head with the frantic unity of rookies who just discovered their safest position is directly behind him. With confidence finally replacing the constant complaints, Gu Chen leads them deeper into the damp, silent ruins. While outside, worried school officials gather around the sealed red portal and wait for an emergency exit. Because every student entered with a teleportation scroll, yet nobody has returned, making the adults fear the unknown monsters killed them before anyone could activate one. And a deeply worried Zhang Songhua wonders how she could ever explain 4 student deaths caused by following Gu Chen into the unknown. Then a progress meter appears, proving the team is actively clearing the hidden dungeon while spectators remain convinced they are carrying a useless summoner. And the ominous red bar ticks steadily up to 10% while the gate remains sealed. A senior administrator demands complete files on the 5 freshmen attempting this nightmare tier run, only to hear that Wu Ziyi, supposedly the strongest member, must be leading while dragging Gu Chen as a display of talent. Zhang Songhua remembers Gu Chen is actually captain and begins trusting the impossible confidence he showed before entering. Just as a level 5 Black Mist Deacon with nearly 3,000 health, crushing physical attributes, and the Reap skill charges the party inside. The towering creature crashes violently into their helpless formation, but Gu Chen orders everyone not to move, leaving the rookies screaming that entering was his idea, and he cannot send them home empty-handed or let them die now. Su Ran finally drops every trace of attitude and tearfully begs Big Brother Gu Chen to save them. While Dagula complains she has barely started playing when her master recalls her to preserve the SSS pace, Gu Chen steps into the blood-soaked corridor alone and gathers crimson energy over one hand, ready to demonstrate that the supposedly fragile Shao summoner behind this broken build is considerably more dangerous than his monster. Gu Chen's eyes ignite red as the stored power activates, and his bare fist detonates into the charging deacon with enough force to crater the ancient temple floor. Using the hidden benefit of Dagula's Crimson Feast, where every opponent she hunts and kills feeds a portion of its attributes back through their bond, turning the vampire's endless appetite into permanent scaling for her master. Whenever Gu Chen recalls the summon at the right moment, those accumulated gains return to him directly, letting his supposedly support class body overwhelm monsters in close combat. Dagula has already awakened twice, her maxed Crimson Feast has pushed his melee stats into absurd territory, and every future kill will keep widening that gap, meaning this supposedly fragile summoner can now rival dedicated melee classes before even adding his epic beast to the combat equation. And one final explosive blow annihilates the Black Mist Deacon while Wu Zi admits Gu Chen's barehanded power surpasses his own fighter build, pushing Gu Chen and Dagula to level 3 and awarding another Dark Bloodline charge, capable of either transforming a normal creature or awakening a first-generation Dark Bloodline. Since leveling appears to grant a new charge each time, Gu Chen decides Dagula's 2 awakenings are enough for the upcoming boss and saves this one for the second summon slot unlocked at level 5, then warns everyone that the boss is next and offers one last chance to escape. Now eager to contribute, the same teammates who wanted him arrested insist they will keep moving and call anyone who leaves a coward. Following their captain farther through the ruined stone halls with remarkably repaired morale and absolutely no memory of their earlier mutiny, Wu Ziyi asks whether clearing this hidden dungeon means Gu Chen plans to choose hell difficulty next time, and Gu Chen casually confirms today's route is probably only nightmare tier, which makes Wu swallow his pride and wonder whether he can pay to be carried again. He struggles to admit it, emphasizing that no novice team has ever cleared a hell dungeon and one tiny mistake would wipe everyone. So just when he blurts that he is not afraid, Gu Chen points out fear was never the actual question. Wu finally asks what condition would secure another carry, and Gu Chen answers with the true universal language of Party Finder. This premium repeat customer will have to pay extra. He names the price at 100,000 per person, planning to spend the money on crystals that can further strengthen his attributes. And Wu nearly chokes because that enormous figure makes ordinary dungeon fees look like pocket change. Until the others point out that an SSS rating brings academy bonus points and makes admission to a top institution almost certain. So the massive fee may still be a bargain, prompting Wu to accept and promise payment immediately after they leave. Gu Chen insists on full payment up front and warns he will not babysit anyone who slows this team, while the others request future carries and swear they will contribute, though privately he knows the next boss guard's an item too important to risk on amateur interference. At the base of a vast step temple littered with ancient debris, Gu Chen calmly announces the main boss is waiting directly ahead, where a thick column of dust gathers into a towering silhouette at the summit, revealing the black-robed deacon as the temple ruins boss. A level 7 foreign, being with 9100 health, attributes near 80, multiple curses, damage transfer, darkness invasion, shadow weapons, and a battle will passive. Its strength is more than triple a normal level 5 monster and exceeds the rookie team's combined power, sending everyone straight back to the idea of fleeing. But Guchen recognizes the exact boss from old news and knows the first clear will award the unique hidden treasure chest he came to claim. The Deacon opens with Ash Mist Curse, releasing 10 minutes of thick gray fog that blocks vision, hides allied monsters, and exhausts anyone who breathes it. So Guchen stops his teammates from running blindly and warns that inhalation will drain their physical ability. The true threat is not the poison-like mist itself, but the Black-Robed Deacon's concealed guards striking unseen from every direction while the disoriented rookie party has completely lost sight of them. Ambushers slash from the darkness as Guchen identifies the hidden attackers, only for Dagula to intercept them effortlessly with a storm of precise crimson blows from inside the poisonous murk. Unlike human professionals, summoned beasts are unaffected by the curse, letting the vampire track enemies inside the fog, carve a clear path through their formation, and become the blazing red guide her blinded and coughing teammates desperately need. Guchen orders everyone to stay close and follow the Crimson Trail without making random movements, warning that stragglers will be beyond saving. Because the boss itself is a living shadow creature capable of vanishing completely inside its own thick fog. While Dagula combines natural bat instincts with a unique sonar sense that maps every movement through the darkness and tracks what human eyes cannot. So Guchen sends her directly toward the hidden Deacon. The vampire dives through the mist and strikes its concealed body by before it can shift positions, clearing enough of the gray fog for the coughing party to see the central battlefield again, only for their relief to vanish when the Deacon's health remains completely untouched and begins restoring itself despite Dagula's clean direct hit, revealing the boss's passive damage transfer. As long as any fallen guard survives nearby, the Deacon redirects 100% of incoming damage to a random guard, which then resurrects at full health after 3 seconds unless every guard is destroyed, creating a vicious loop where its 9,000 health pool cannot be touched while the same disposable monsters keep returning to life around it. Guchen explains that all resurrected guards must be cleared within the same narrow window, denying the boss any living scapegoat before Dagla attacks again. But his inexperienced teammates are already poisoned, physically weakened, and shivering as the Faithing Curse finally registers on their status screens. Fortunately, Guchen bought Miscris at the training market beforehand, an inexpensive herb that grows in fog and removes exactly these negative states when consumed, and distributes it while ordering everyone to swallow quickly and start earning their share of the clear. With their strength and courage returning, the four rookies finally charge the scattered fallen guards, instead of standing safely behind Guchen and watching Dagala do everything, blocking heavy blades, breaking reinforced armor, and finally contributing real damage as a coordinated team under pressure. Guchen joins their assault to keep every resurrection timer aligned, while the last doses of Mistgrass take effect and restore the group's badly drained energy. Seeing them stabilize, he hands out valuable F-grade light crystals to push their combat output even higher, dismisses their questions about why he would give away valuable resources, and tells them to follow instructions because the boss is already preparing its next attack. The rookies finally accept the plan, promise to handle the guards, and insist on contributing enough to protect their assessment points. While Dagula returns from the fog visibly bruised and irritated after forcing some stronger boss to burn through most of its stamina, leading Guchen to recall her for a full round of rest now that the exhausted Deacon has lost its best cover. Then wraps himself in blood-red power and announces he will handle the next exchange personally. He orders his teammates to hold off every fallen guard while he takes the boss, closing the distance before it can react and delivering a crimson punch that violently slams the towering Deacon backward across the arena. Damage transfer activates again, diverting the blow toward one of the remaining guards, but Lin Yuan kills the selected target before it can serve as a conduit, making the transfer fail and denying the boss another freeze. Wu Zi crushes another guard and mocks the boss for still trying the same trick, while Lin Qingqing and Su Ran eliminate their own targets before any resurrection timer can reset. With no disposable scapegoats left, Guchen finally drains the Deacon's enormous health pool directly, though he remembers the boss still has one unused finisher. Moments before the wounded creature suddenly disappears into a violent new eruption of darkness, activating pitch-black darkness invasion to teleport behind its target. Release paralyzing black mist for 2 seconds, and follow with a lethal strike that ignores 70% of defense, leaving Guchen stiffened just as his knowledge of past elite casualties exposes the skill's single weakness. He calls for the ordinary light crystal he gave Lin Yuan before the fight, and the glowing golden shard sails precisely into the mist as the Deacon begins its supposedly fatal execution swing. Its light erupts like a miniature sun, burning open the surrounding darkness and staggering the shadow creature. Because despite the mist's ability to penetrate and block almost everything, even a cheap light crystal destabilizes it. Nobody recognized that commercially low-value items hidden combat utility before, but Gu Chen uses the exposed opening to drive a fully crimson-charged fist forward, catching the boss completely off guard at the exact instant its supposedly unavoidable finisher collapses. The battered deacon survives that crushing counter only as a ragged shadow with a single furious eye, then flees back into the fog when Ashmith's curse finishes cooling down, desperately summoning fresh fallen guards to protect its last sliver of health. But Gu Chen calmly cancels Crimson Feast and smiles, because the summoned monster he deliberately rested is ready to return at full killing strength. He points into the mist and orders Dagula to finish the enemy for him, unleashing the vampire girl in a roaring flood of scarlet energy that tears through every layer of the deacon's attempted concealment, before her massive bloodblade descends with the overwhelming force befitting an epic-grade summon. More than 6,000 damage erupts from the impact, erasing the boss's remaining health in one spectacular blow, and the entire shadowy body detonates beneath Dagula's crimson execution as Gu Chen's first hidden dungeon conquest becomes absolute. System notices confirm the Black Robe Deacon's elimination, award 555 experience, a Black Deacon emblem, a Black Deacon robe 500 professional experience, and the Nightmare first clear treasure chest. While the ecstatic rookies realize even the ordinary crystal share from such a hidden dungeon is vastly richer than several beginner runs combined. Gu Chen claims both pieces of equipment and the treasure chest, then proposes taking half the high-quality crystals while dividing the other half equally among his 4 companions. A settlement they immediately call more than fair, since none of them could have survived this place without him. He tells them to prepare funds if they want to form another team later, but warns that Dagula's humanoid form must remain completely secret, threatening to exclude anyone who leaks it from his future hell-level runs until every rookie fervently swears silence and begs to accompany him again. Satisfied by their obedience and unwilling to train replacements, Gu Chen accepts as the dungeon announces a successful clear and begins its 60-second evacuation countdown, leaving the curious party only enough time to wonder who might question them before the final 3 seconds vanish. Blue pillars of teleportation return all 5 students safely to the crowded entrance plaza, where Li Wenhui is loudly celebrating his own 3-hour beginner clear as a glorious record achieved under Brother Hui's exceptional leadership, confidently challenging the watching classmates to produce anyone capable of matching that supposedly magnificent performance. Then he spots Gu Chen's entire party materializing together, and his smug expression freezes in startled disbelief. A vast system announcement congratulates Gu Chen's rookie team for clearing temple ruins on nightmare difficulty in 2 hours, 35 minutes and 13 seconds, drawing every instructor and student toward the impossible all-time record while relieved onlookers marvel that the apparent accident became a model achievement. And the school director instantly assumes Wu Ziyi led the team, praising his extraordinary strength and declaring that the academy must reward such talent generously. Although Jiang Songhua privately knows her class representative is nowhere near powerful enough to accomplish this feat. As the 5 survivors approach, Wu Ziyi suggests celebrating later, only for the growing crowd to surround them with awestruck congratulations, enthusiastic rookies even offering 100,000 coins for places on their next run because the record holders have become instant heroes. Su Ran stares at their new admirers in disbelief, wondering whether the party has somehow become famous overnight, while Wu Ziyi confidently predicts that discovering a hidden dungeon will place them directly on the admission recommendation list. Until the director marches forward and asks which student is Wu Ziyi, prompting the silver-haired fighter to identify himself. Then announces a special reward for his supposed leadership until Wu Ziyi awkwardly corrects him and names Gu Chen as their actual leader. The director recoils at the idea that a mere summoner could have commanded this victory, insisting the school's honors belong solely to whichever leader contributed the greatest effort and pretending his decision is perfectly impartial. Jiang Songhua asks him to hear the students themselves, but he scoffs that no summoner could possibly break through this secret realm, whereupon every teammate loudly credits boss Gu Chen and explains that without his leadership they could never have crossed it. Refusing to accept their testimony, the director invokes Wu Ziyi's struggling family and warns him not to surrender a life-changing honor, making Wu silently curse the old fool for threatening to drag him into Gu Chen's dangerous displeasure on their very next expedition. Gu Chen coolly rejects the material reward and says he has no use for hollow reputation, regardless of how the biased director interprets events, but the furious official condemns him as an inferior summoner and insolent junior who must be punished for disrespecting his elders. Before he can act, the imposing Deputy Liang arrives, declares that such misconduct during the year's first test proves the director unfit for office, and orders a thorough investigation, leaving the crowd stunned as officials demand and know how an entire party with teleportation scrolls could have remained trapped at all. The director stammers that every student returned healthy, and that the party carried 4 teleportation scrolls. But Deputy Liang corrects him, They never escaped with those scrolls, instead fighting through the nightmare dungeon and clearing it in under 3 hours, further confirming that a newly awakened summoner led the entire operation, and making the director's prejudice look even more foolish. As the disgraced official trembles beneath the newcomer's cold authority and realizes this incident has reached far above the school, the man formally introduces himself as Liang Linfei, a deputy inspector dispatched by Lincheng City's Ministry of Education to investigate the disaster. Then immediately identifies Gu Chen as the leader because one glance at the 5 rookies reveals whose attributes are overwhelmingly strongest. Gu Chen recognizes that this official possesses genuinely high perception and cannot be deceived by appearances, while Liang explains that the ministry expected casualties, not victory, and requests an exact account of how the hidden dungeon was conquered. He also promises Gu Chen a regulation reward for discovering an entirely new resource area that will benefit all of Lincheng City, silencing the party's distracted stares and ordering everyone to answer only what is asked during the official inquiry, while Liang's sharp attention convinces Gu Chen that the deputy inspector is no simple opponent. As the narrative explains that dungeons are both monster breeding grounds and essential resource zones professionals must repeatedly raid to grow stronger. When an undiscovered dungeon overbreeds, escaping monsters can transform the surrounding territory into an uncontrollable fallen zone, whereas regular clearing stabilizes the resource supply and supports the rise of more powerful local professionals. Beyond Genuine Pass lies one such forbidden wasteland, created because its monsters were not exterminated early enough, and only the pass commanded by Gu Chen's father, Gu Qingfeng, prevents those hordes from overrunning the entire Shenxia kingdom. Temple Ruins therefore removes a grave danger while enriching Lincheng, so the ministry grants Gu Chen 10,000 gold coins and an honorary title, astonishing his teammates, who had never imagined their risky expedition could become so profitable or improve their future examination credits. Following procedure, Liang asks how a rookie summoner discovered the secret dungeon and led 4 beginners to clear it, and Gu Chen answers that he sensed unusual spiritual fluctuations long ago, then attributes the victory to teamwork, solidarity, and every member's combined effort. Liang reacts sharply to the claim of sensing spiritual energy, while Gu Chen dismisses it as one of the supposedly lower-class summoner specialization's unusual traits. A plausible explanation because contracted summoners are known to become more spiritually sensitive than other professionals after forming their first serious beast contract. So, finding no further lead, Liang requests the dungeon's rules monster count and clearing mechanism, then formally concludes the group interview, although his instincts still whisper that this exceptionally composed boy is concealing something far greater than a lucky rookie achievement. When Gu Chen asks to leave, Liang stops him for one final private offer, explaining that special dungeon rifts have recently appeared around Lincheng and inviting him onto ministry-organized teams capable of entering them. Gu Chen questions why a new student should participate, so Liang reveals that these rifts enforce level limits only rookies satisfy and offer gold plus direct Capital Academy recommendations, including the only such recommendation available anywhere in Lincheng City. Gu Chen promises to consider it, already understanding how useful the opportunity could become, because Capital Academy will reunite him with his dear younger brother, while a second summoning slot and his extraordinary rapid growth now make the capital his natural destination. And after leaving the ministry proceedings behind, he finally returns home with every carefully hidden reward secure, where the record's 500 experience raises him to level 5 and successfully unlocks his second summoning slot. He opens the Nightmare First Clear treasure chest, guaranteed to contain equipment and one rare quality item, receiving a rare Hurricane Warhammer alongside the far more valuable superior quality summoning book he remembers from his previous life's reports. The Warhammer is a warrior weapon with a random chance to launch a hurricane attack, powerful enough to command an excellent market price. But the superior summoning book is Gu Chen's true objective because it can forge an immediate pact with a nightmare. The newly contracted creature matches his level, possesses superior aptitude, strong agility and spirit, dream entry, mental restraint, equipment use, and 2,980 health, yet materializes as a tiny one-eyed cloud whose high spiritual power perfectly complements Dagula's relative weakness in that attribute. Gu Chen finds the creature promising but incomplete, deciding it needs one decisive round of dark nourishment, and bloodthirsty First Blood instantly merges its hidden bloodline, advancing the superior nightmare into an epic daughter of the nightmare. The little cloud vanishes so completely that Gu Chen briefly wonders whether its advancement failed, until spectral black hands emerge around his face and reveal an unseen presence already embracing him from behind, revealing the evolved daughter of the nightmare as a haunting woman with 6,580 health, epic aptitude, enormous attributes, the indescribable name talent, instant phantom kill, and nightmare entanglement, giving her control over dreams, reality, hypnosis, mental damage, prolonged debilitation, and deep dream fields while allowing her to materialize silently anywhere. Her epic feedback raises every one of Gu Chen's attributes by 10, effectively granting him another full level's worth of a growth without fighting. So he summons Dagula and proudly introduces 2 humanoid epic beasts, serving him simultaneously at level 6. Dagula reacts irritably to her eerie new partner's touch, but Gu Chen firmly orders both dangerous girls to cooperate. then inspects the deacon's exceptional emblem, which blocks appraisal, and its magic cloak, which adds spirit and constitution, forms shields and conceals equipment. Wearing them hides both Gu Chen's attributes and the gear itself, making his real strength almost impossible for outsiders to measure. Exactly what he needs before the coming hell-level dungeon, though he still wonders whether Lin Yuan's group has gathered enough money. Before a familiar shout from the corridor answers him, and Gu Chen immediately recognizes Lin Yuan's distressed voice. Discovering several armed students cornering his friend while demanding hidden dungeon prizes worth at least 30,000 gold for a mere 8,000. Their silver-haired leader declares that the Li family's price is the only price in Lincheng and that Lin Yuan will sell whether he agrees or not, openly threatening force when the swordsman refuses to surrender his rightful reward. Wu Zi identifies the arriving Gu Chen as the same man who stole their spotlight during the record announcement, prompting the gang leader to warn him against interfering in Li family business or blaming them for the consequences. Gu Chen merely smiles, delighted that these bullies have volunteered to become a live testing ground for his newly evolved nightmare, while their tank, assassin, mage, and support rush him together under an order to crush the supposedly worthless summoner. His concealed eye flashes blood red as he welcomes their attack with utter confidence, noting that every opponent carries high-quality equipment, and realizing Li Wenhui has assembled a serious team whose arrogance finally has a practical use. Their leader orders the coordinated formation to finish Gu Chen immediately, but Nightmare Entanglement silently touches all four attackers, freezing their bodies in a 3-minute nightmare rigidity that even their expensive enchanted armor cannot resist, while the daughter of the nightmare looms unseen behind them as the bewildered leader screams for his motionless subordinates to attack, while Gu Chen mockingly observes that they have stopped obeying and confirms his summon can dominate peers without victims even realizing she exists. He graciously offers to teach the unruly group a lesson on their commander's behalf, stepping through their helpless formation and driving a brutally simple punch into the leader's face before the man can evade. The silver-haired bully crashes backward across the corridor under raw physical force no supposed rookie summoner should possess, then activates his rare divine tattoo shield, which cleanses negative states, senses hostile intent, and grants active evasion before charging as a punishment knight. Gu Chen recognizes the costly defensive gear and sarcastically praises his opponent as a remarkably generous spender, then activates Crimson Feast to test whether purchased equipment can overcome the overwhelming attributes supplied by his two-system enhanced epic summons, and Scarlet power whips around Gu Chen as he batters straight through the knight's supposedly superior protection, hurling him violently across the floor and leaving every defeated follower staring in terror at the impossible gap between them. Lin Yuan asks Gu Chen to stop before the lesson becomes fatal, privately realizing even Li Wenwu's fully equipped lackeys cannot endure his friend's strength. While the bloodied leader wonders whether Gu Chen is cursed and threatens that enraging Lin Cheng's Li family will get everyone killed, Gu Chen calmly asks whether that family is truly so great, dismissing its local prestige as nothing despite Lin Yuan's anxious warning. Just as the defeated man recognizes an approaching elder cousin and cries desperately for his brother's protection, Student Council President Li Renji enters with an entourage, modestly calling his clan insignificant beside Shenxia Kingdom's true noble families. And an attendant invokes school regulations before Li Renji says Gu Chen's record should not be tarnished by such a minor dispute. Introducing himself, the polished president claims he has long admired Gu Chen and courteously apologizes on his cousin's behalf. But Gu Chen instantly recognizes Li Renji from his previous life and understands that this smiling intervention carries deeper danger. In that future, Gu Chen had already become powerful enough to endure monstrous training attacks with his bare body, dispersing violent purple energy through sheer physical strength while treating even a high-level monster's punishment as ordinary daily exercise. Until his blonde younger brother interrupted that training to report an old acquaintance requesting admission into their rapidly expanding guild, and the indifferent Gu Chen asked who could possibly claim that connection before accepting the visitor's introduction. The blonde man identified the applicant as Gu Chen's former Lincheng classmate and ordered the gates opened, whereupon Li Renji presented a formal resume, expressed lifelong admiration, and begged to join one of the Gu family's affiliated guilds. Gu Chen told his brother to decide such trivial personnel matters independently, then dismissed both men without further interest, immediately demanding another level 100 monster so his merciless physical training could continue uninterrupted. Li Renji nevertheless entered one of the family's 11 affiliated guilds and was promised a suitable position, bowing gratefully while privately considering any rank and honor so long as he could serve beneath the legendary Gu Chen. Back in the present, Li Renji represents the Lincheng Li family and invites Gu Chen onto his team for the Ministry of Education's dungeon raid scheduled in half a month, extending his hand with a polished and potentially calculating smile.